If you love Jesus,
Apostolic Sunday School.com.
Hello and welcome to ApostolicSundaySchool.com. This is going to be a little bit of an odd looking video perhaps because I am actually recording when I'm on a road trip. So I'm going to make this quick. This is a intro to the object lesson for the blank canvas, the design that God has for your life. This is a really cool experiment that we did recently, and the basis is that you have a canvas that you hold up, and when you light it, it actually carves or cuts or etches a design into this seemingly completely blank surface. And the design is not random. It's exactly whatever you have decided ahead of time you want it to be. I typically would make it a cross or something similar. But it's an amazing effect. I mean, it's just uncanny. The kids can't figure it out. In fact, no one can figure it out if you've not seen it before. Basically, it's a piece of tissue paper, like the kind you'd use to wrap a gift, and on it you paint a design using what's called a super saturated solution of saltpeter and water. And the supersaturated solution is a complicated way of saying that you just put saltpeter into the water over and over and over and keep stirring it until the water cannot absorb anymore. You just take a little bit and put it in, stir it up till it disappears, keep doing that over and over until finally you flat out cannot get any more to be absorbed by the water, and you'll eventually have some grains of it on the bottom of the cup. So this is your supersaturated solution. Take a very tiny paintbrush and you paint a design using that water on your tissue paper. You want it to be a very simple design because the more complicated it is, the less you'll be able to see when the actual burning of the design takes place. So you'll let it dry. You'll stretch it out on a frame, and then you light the line that you painted. And you can line it with an open flame, like with a lighter or a match, but it is a little bit hard to do that without catching the tissue paper on fire. So we found that what we call a punk, which is the little stick lighters that they hand out to people at the fireworks booths, those work very, very well if you can get them. If not, you can use an open flame or a match. Just got to be very careful to touch it only to the line that you have painted and not to the tissue paper itself. You got to practice this at home or it can go bad. So make sure you've done that like you should with any other lesson. This is a great effect, and the idea of the lesson itself, what you're actually telling, the spiritual application, is that you're young, you're innocent, you have your whole life ahead of you. You have this blank canvas. Do you want God to design it, or do you want to design it yourself? You can have some knucklehead, like we've done in the past, have their own canvas, and of course it's a setup, but they're designing their own canvas. They don't want anybody's help. No one's going to tell them what to do. And they're finger painting on it, they're poking holes in it, they're cutting it, whatever. And of course their canvas is going to look like a disaster. And you compare that to the one that God is carefully designing. And you can take this as far as you want. The actual burning takes about 2 minutes, so you have plenty of time to talk to the kids and explain to them that whatever your goals in life, whether you want to be a firefighter, a police officer, a preacher, a teacher, whatever it is that you want to be, goals are great, but as long as goals are great, but you need to allow God to have the freedom to work in your life. And while it's burning, you keep talking to them about it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a little bit of time. And it's a great lesson. So when it's done, you have this perfect shape cut out, and you can hold it up, and it's a great clincher to your class. So I hope you can use it. Following this is a short illustration of when we actually did it in one of our classes. I hope it helps.
All of my decisions, everything that I want to be, none of that matters, God. What matters is I want to be something that you want me to be. Then God is going to take you and make a design out of your life. He's going to make something out of that blank canvas that goes beyond anything you could ever be on your own. Does anybody want to be something great for God? Raise your hand.
Be a cross.
If you let God design your life, if you let God take over, let Him paint the canvas of your life, you're going to be more than you could ever imagine. If you want to be a firefighter and you give your life to God, you will be the best firefighter. You're going to be a soul winner. You're going to bring people to church through that. Check this out. It's not done. It doesn't happen overnight. Does anyone think you're everything you should be by the time you're 10? How about by the time you're 15? By the time you're 20? It may take a while, but God keeps working on your life. God keeps carving on your life. God keeps designing, and pretty soon you're going to see something pretty incredible happen. Just keep watching. If you give your life completely to Him and say, Jesus, not my will, but your will be done. He's going to keep working day by day, one prayer at a time, one church service at a time, one Sunday morning at a time. He's going to make something greater and greater and greater out of your life until one day you are everything that He wants you to be. Is that incredible? Who here wants God to make something neat out of your life? Not what you want, but what He wants. God, I may not know exactly what I want to be. I may not know who I'm going to be or what I'm going to become. But if you give your life to God, God's going to make something fantastic out of your life. Let's all stand real quick.